Hey, it's Dan Z from Coffee with Kenobi bringing you today's CWK Coffee Break. Now, it's been a while since I've been here on this channel, so thank you for your patience. It's been a very busy last few weeks. Christmas, New Year's Eve, and of course, all the Last Jedi craziness that's going on. And I promise you a review of the movie, and you may have seen it on our website, www.coffeewithkenobi.com. We've had 3 different podcasts about it, which I encourage you to check out. And if you've not already done so, please review them and subscribe to them via iTunes. You can find it all there. Here's the thing. I love this movie. I've seen it 5 times now, and it has blown me away. And not in the ways that I expected it would, not in the ways that I thought I wanted it to. It's a very powerful film. It's very unlike Star Wars, and I think that's why I like it. In fact, at the very end, and there, I guess, are mild spoilers on this, although since it's passed over $1 billion and it's the #1 grossing film of 2017, I feel like you've probably seen this, but just to be fair, there will be some spoilers. At the end, Luke says, everything you said in that sentence was wrong, which of course he's talking to Kylo Ren. He says, the rebellion is just getting started, the war is just beginning, and I will not be the last Jedi. When that happened, I saw that for the first time, I thought, wow, they are rebooting this, but they're not rebooting it at all. They're refreshing something that's been around for 40 years that I didn't know I thought needed refreshing. I think it challenges what it means to be a hero. I think it challenges archetypes of heroism. And even Luke, when he talks to Rey about how he was with the mighty Skywalker blood, he was Luke Skywalker. He says the Jedi were deified. I feel like that's talking to us. I feel like Rian Johnson, Mark Hamill, everybody in this film is talking to us as fans about, we built these characters up, and that's okay. That's actually great. I mean, Disney doesn't seem to mind. They made a lot of money off of us, and they're going to make a lot more before it's all said and done. But they're challenging what you think about how you process Star Wars and how you process heroism, what it means to be a hero. I think that's important to deconstruct sometimes. I think it's important to kind of push back and challenge your perspectives and your points of view, because you don't want to be stagnant in your thought process. You want to be creative, you want to be a critical thinker, and you want to be a credible point of view. And all that means is you're true to yourself. There's been a lot of pro and con to this film. Probably the most con, or the most pushback to this film since The Phantom Menace debuted in 1999. And that's all great. The conversations from this are wonderful. Again, it's important to be a critical thinker and to be intellectually honest about how you feel. All good things. Is there everything that I like about this movie all laid out in the movie? No. I think the Canto Bight scene is way too long. I think they could have trimmed that down to about 5 or 6 minutes tops, although I understand why they did it. But that's mostly because I was invested so much in what was happening on Ashto with Luke and Rey, and what was going on with Leia and Poe and Admiral Holdo. Now that stretched on a little bit too, but it's okay. One of the reasons I probably like that so much is because I like Battlestar Galactica and that television series, the new Battlestar Galactica, or newer Battlestar Galactica. It didn't seem to have much of a point. But it did. It's building these characters. This movie, and this is the 9th Star Wars movie, if you count Rogue One, and you should count Rogue One because it's a great film. This movie is more about character than any of the Star Wars movies. This is just my opinion. This is in fact, this is what I think. It's so character driven, and not that the others aren't, but this really focuses it in, and it's about internal conflict. You've got man versus man, or woman versus woman, man or woman versus society, and man or woman versus self. And in this, we've got a lot of versus self, the internal conflict. We are our own worst critics, we are our own worst challengers, and we can be our best allies. These are the things that Luke has to face, that Rey has to face, that Finn has to face, that Poe has to face. Leia doesn't really have to face that. She's kind of been there. She's accomplished a lot, and she is very much a figurehead. In fact, I think this is Leia's strongest moment in the film. There's so much to talk about, you can't really break it down to one coffee break. But I will say, again, if you don't like it, or you do like it, it's fine. But it is Star Wars, because it's come out on the screen as Star Wars. It's very, very powerful. It challenges your expectations and your point of view. And I think, as Star Wars fans, that can be scary, and that can be threatening, because we are so used to this. This Star Wars blanket that we hold so dear to our hearts, that we cover ourselves up with. When you find something that makes you a little uncomfortable, you're uncertain about what's going on, it will make you take a step back. That is a good thing. You should be prepared to think about things differently. You should be prepared to be challenged. I think that's what Star Wars is at its best, making you think about things from a certain point of view. Thank you for joining me on today's CWK Coffee Break. We'll see you next time.